Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Muhammad Abrar. I am the student of the fourth year pharmacy. My roll number is BP16504142. I want to present my topic. Related to the complications of the end stage liver disease known as the hepatic encephalopathy. For today, first we have to discuss about what is hepatic encephalopathy. Hepatic encephalopathy is defined as a spectrum of the neuropsychiatric abnormalities in patient with liver dysfunction after the exclusion of the brain disease. Hepatic encephalopathy is characterized by the personality changes, intellectual impairment, and a depressed level of the consciousness. Basically, it is the decline in a brain function due to the liver failure, cirrhosis, and Reye's syndrome. If the symptoms of the liver failure is severe, it can reach to the brain and it may lead to cause encephalitis. Your liver cannot be removed toxins from your blood and accumulate in a colon as a stool. It is the form of the nitrogenous product substances. Memory impairment changes its personality and changes its mood. What is hysteresis? What is the impact of the hysteresis in the hepatic encephalopathy? Hysteresis appear in hepatic encephalopathy due to the inadequate ammonia metabolized to urea. Ammonia will not be able to convert it into the urea. Due to may result, it may cause the hyperammonemia. When too much of the ammonemia in the CNS, it may lead to cause tremors, seizures, and can cause coma. Hysteresis may occur with structural brain disease. It can be a sign of the hepatic encephalopathy, damage to the brain cells, presumably to the inability of the liver to metabolize ammonia to urea. The cause is thought to be predominantly related to the abnormal ammonia metabolism. Stages of the hepatic encephalopathy. The stages of the hepatic encephalopathy which are usually considered are as follows. Number 1 condition is mild confusion, agitation, irritability, sleep disturbance, decreased attention. The stage 2 condition, lethargy, disorientation, inappropriate behavior. Stage 3 conditions in which there was somnolent but arousable, slurred speech and confused, aggressive. Stage 4 is relatively a coma in which the person may go under in coma. Periods of the lethargy, euphoria and reversal of the day-night sleeping may alert. Sign, trouble drawing figures, performing mental tasks, normal. In stage 2 condition, there was a drowsiness, inappropriate behavior, agitation, wide mood swings and disorientation. In stage 2 condition, sign hysteresis, fetal hepaticus and incontinence. The electroencephalogram in the phase 2 hepatic encephalopathy is generalized slowing Q waves. But in stage 3, the symptoms are stupor but arousable, confused, incoherent speech. In sign hysteresis, hyperreflexia, extensor reflexes, rigidity. Electroencephalogram in phase 3 is marketability, abnormal triphasic waves. In phase 4, the symptoms are coma, response to the nauseous stimuli, and 4b2 no response, but signs are areflexia, no hysteresis and flaccidity. In electroencephalogram in phase 4, markedly abnormal bilateral slowing, D waves, electric cortical silence. What is the pathogenesis of the hepatic encephalopathy? Number 1, ammonia. The presence of the elevated toxins level in a cerebral parenchyma have been involved in the pathophysiology of the hepatic encephalopathy, with ammonia as the main agent. Current evidence supports the idea that ammonia is only one component of the numerous pathophysiological factors that will need to be contribute to the appearance of the HE. Basically, in this pathogenesis, there was an increase in the level of the ammonia produced inside in the body. It will lead to cause the deposition of the ammonia into the small intestine that will lead to cause in the ammonia that will lead to introduce the colon into the small intestine. Gamma aminobutyric acid. Astrocytes, it is the major component of the brain that takes 30% of the cerebral cortex. Astrocytes uses ammonia when synthesizing glutamate from the glutamate. Increased level of the glutamine increase in the osmotic pressure is astrocytes. This will lead to increased activity of the inhibitory gamma amino butyric acid. Energy supply to the brain cells in decreased. Basically, in the gamma amino butyric acid, there was a decrease into the level of the glutamate. The glutamate will easily convert it into the glutamine. Due to the decrease into the level of our the glutamate, it may result the formation of our the glutamine. In amino acids, brain taurine concentration. What is the brain taurine concentration? Brain taurine concentration are decreased since taurine appears to be implicated in the potassium and the calcium homeostasis in brain, causes the pathophysiology of our the hepatic encephalopathy. Factors that may precipitate the hepatic encephalopathy. Number one condition, increased ammonia production. In hepatic encephalopathy, the main precipitating factors is that increase in the ammonia production. Number one, gastrointestinal hemorrhage, as well as excessive intake of the dietary protein. Azotemia may also be able to responsible to get due to the inadequate of the blood filtered into the kidneys. In infection including SBP, blood transfusion. Due to the increase in the level of the ammonia in the blood, we cannot transfuse the blood from one person to the another person. Hypokalemia, as well as systematic alkalosis, as well as constipation. Reduce metabolism of the toxins because of the hepatic hypoxia, dehydration, arterial hypotension, and anemia. Portosystemic shunts, spontaneous TIPSS surgical, progressive hepatic parenchyma damage, hepatoma, use of the benzodiazepines and other psychoactive drugs. Case study in hepatic encephalopathy. A 70 years female patient was admitted near Kolkata. She was experienced generalized weakness, anorexia, shortness of breath for the past 1 week. She has also complained, basically there was a complaint of weakness, anorexia, shortness of breath, confusion, disorientation, nausea, low-grade intermittent fever. Laboratory tests including complete blood count, liver function tests, plasma ammonia level basically high because there was an increase in level of the ammonia concentration inside in our blood. The result which came into the significantly abnormal complicated the respective case. The BP of the patients was reported to 130 upon 180 and the pulse rate was found to be 88 beats per minute. Liver function tests revealed serum albumin 3 gram per deciliter, normal range reported to be 3.50 to 5. AST was 37 microliter, reference range was reported to 14 to 36. Creatinine serum was 1.23 milligram per deciliter, normal range is 0.70, 1.20. Bilirubin content 2.70, reference range is 0.2, 1.3. Alkaline phosphate ALP was reported to be 115 microliter, and the plasma ammonia was reportedly alarmingly high, 112 micromole per liter, reference range of which given is 9.030. Sodium level was reported as 130, potassium level 4.20, platelet count was 0.95, hematology requires 79 and neutrophil was 79, platelet count 0.95, lymphocyte was 16, eosinophil was 0.1. Thus hepatic encephalopathy and splenomegaly was reported. Past history, basically in SOAP notes we have a subject object assessment plans as well as notes. In subject, the past history is given, which could be a sign and symptoms which show in the case generalized weakness, anorexia, shortness of breath. For the past 1 week, she has also had complaints of confusion, disorientation, nausea, and low-grade intermittent fever. Laboratory data are mentioned below in a case study. Assessment. What is the diagnosis of this case study? reduced level of the serum albumin, abnormal elevation of the liver enzymes, and hyperammonemia indicated hepatic encephalopathy. She was also recommended CT scan, ultrasound, UCG of the whole abdomen investigating diffusely hyperechoic and coarse echo texture of the liver indicated diffuse liver disease. It also reported diffusively thickened gallbladder and splenomegaly. Thus, hepatic encephalopathy and splenomegaly was reported. Planning. We have to advise the patients by taking several types of drugs which will be given below. First, we have to take a drug which is known as the thyroxine. Thyroxine is also been able to responsible to reduce the Parkinson disease as well as the hypothyroidism. One tablet once daily before breakfast is usually used to be given, and tablets in dopa, carbidopa, levodopa, 110 milligram, one tablet thrice a daily, and the deriphylline, which is known as the theophylline, which is responsible for the treatment of the buccal congestion, mucolytic agent, which is known as the shortness of the breath, for the treatment of the shortness of breath, dufalic, which is a lactulose. Lactulose is also helpful for relieving the constipation because the nitrogenous product ammonia is going to be present in the form of the stool in colon. That's why we have to given this dufalic, which is known as the lactulose, available in the form 30 ml solution. Intestinal, for the treatment of the intestinal bowel transit and prevent constipation. Hepamirase, which is known as L-ornithine and L-aspartate, which is a byproduct of the urea cycle, because urea is important for the metabolism. If the ammonia will lead to be converted into the urea, that's why the ornithine and aspartate is required in urea cycle. That's why we have to convert the ammonia into urea, because there was urea is involved into the excretion. Ammonia to urea. It is also responsible for controlling the hyperammonemia. Rifagut, which is known as a rifaximin, which is known as is usually used into the treatment of the susceptible ammonogenic species. Ipemiraside. Rifagut 400 milligram rifaximin, one tablet thrice a day for a period of the 5 days. Syrup dufalic lactulose 20 ml twice a daily. After a span of 10 days, these medicines were reviewed and reduced. We have to talking about this drug. Hepamirase sachet was given in order to metabolize the ammonia to urea in the way of controlling the hyperammonemia. Rifagut was given in order to kill the susceptible ammonogenic species. Augmentin was introduced to treat the bacterial species. Deriphylline retard was administered to prevent buccal congestion, and mucinic was given mucolytic and also helped to prevent the infection of the microbial contaminants. Dufalic was given for easy bowel transit and prevent constipation, which is regarded as the prior reason for the encephalopathy. Apart from these, patients were also treated with Thyrox, Syndopa respectively due to the reported complaints of the hypothyroidism and the Parkinson's disease. Notes. We have to recommend the patients about the dose of the drug. We have to recommend the patients about the notes. Patients suffering from hepatic encephalopathy should receive prophylactic antibiotics and also have the essential investigate studies performed within 24 hours. Hyperammonemia should be controlled via suitable medicaments, and constipation should be strictly avoided using proper laxatives. Acids should be treated with balanced diet and also with the reduced amount of the salt in case of the fluid retention. Conclusion. The given study concluded the requirement for the complete and conservative medical profile. Incomplete treatment may be fatal. It causes severe exposure to the disease. Hepatic encephalopathy, as our study suggests, precipitates due to the accumulation of toxic substances in a blood stream, which are usually removed by the liver. Hepatic encephalopathy is reversible with the treatment. It relies on suppressing the production of the toxic substances in the intestine, especially ammonia. It is commonly done using laxatives with non-absorbable antibiotics. The report mainly emphasizes on the need of the good clinical evaluation by the qualified therapist and also in the implementation of the appropriate investigative studies, where we have to discuss the what is the management strategies of the hepatic encephalopathy. First we are talking about the hepatic encephalopathy specific, which is known as lactulose. We have to discuss the lactulose in a previous case study because lactulose is also helpful in relieving the constipation, because the ammonia is a nitrogenous product which is usually accumulated inside in our the colon. This colon can also be able to responsible to pass out these nitrogenous product in the form of our the excretory materials. Lactulose oral liquid 30 to 45 ml 2-4 times per daily, titrated to 2-4 bms per daily, can be given via NG tube if patient unable to safety window, via enema if tolerated to oral route. Rifaximin is a non-absorbable carbohydrate. It is a non-absorbable antibiotics which has also been able to responsible to treat the enterobacteriaceae, which is found in the form of the nitrogenous product, which is found in the form of the nitrogenous product. For refractory cases, consider neomycin and branch chain amino acid. Neomycin lowers the plasma ammonia, reduce mucosal glutaminase activity, and branch chain amino acids may also occur due to signaling chemicals in a brain. It may also stimulate the brain hormones because there was a deficiency in a brain hormone due to the result of our the liver failure. इसके बाद lactulose, neomycin, metronidazole, vancomycin and rifaximin. We have to talking about both these products. Neomycin is also used in an adjunctive therapy in hepatic coma by the reduction of the ammonia forming bacteria in the intestinal tract. The subsequent reduction in blood ammonia has resulted in a neurological improvement. Sometimes the bacteria which are usually found inside in our the nitrogenous product in the form of our the urea can be a resistant type. That's why we have to give the combination therapy of the lactulose as well as the neomycin, which is helpful for relieving the constipation and can easily be able to metabolize the ammonia into the urea, which can easily be able to filter out inside in our the blood. What is the impact of the flumazenil in hepatic encephalopathy? Flumazenil is a medicine that act on a GABA receptor inside in our the brain. It is a GABA antagonistic. Due to the increase inside in our the level of our the GABA inside in our the brain, it may also effective to decrease the consumption of our the GABA. GABA can also stimulate the activity of glutamate into the glutamine, and it decreases the level of the glutamine inside in our the brain. This may result the deficiency which may also occur due to the decrease into the level of the glutamine inside in our the brain. Flumazenil is also used into the treatment of our the seizures as well as depression. Neurological improvement is 17.5% as well as improvement 14.7%. Neurological 3.8 and improvement 2.7, EEG improvement 27.8 and improvement 21.5, 5 and 3.3. In this double-blind, placebo-controlled randomized trial, flumazenil showed transient benefit in higher grade of encephalopathy. The role of the flumazenil for all degree of the encephalopathy or as a longer time agent in critically ill patient has not been able to recommended.